What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Bolero Sam here with Maui and the Sultan of Sando, Mr. Gab Lim. What's up,
Let's
guys?
go! Let's go!
Welcome back to another episode of Lock, Maybe or Nah. This time we're going to talk about the DLSU Green Archers, the defending champions, DLSU Green Archers. If you haven't seen this episode yet, our Lock Maybe or Not episode is where we talk about and discuss the final 16-man roster of each team for season 87. So today we're going to talk about the Archers. But before that, a few announcements first. Number one, we do have our pre-order list for our Berleros t-shirt down below. So you can look at the link in the you can look for the link in the description down below. Maui, pakita mo naman yung sample ng Boleros t-shirt natin. So last time Maui showed Boleros maroon. This time it's Boleros blue. So we do have other colors. Please check them out in the link below. Number two, we do have a sponsor for this episode, Gab.
This episode is brought to you by Cotton Club Underwear and NYC Underwear. Cotton Club, I love it here. There have been multiple comments, Sam and Maui, about you guys wearing some Santos. Tularan nyo na daw ako. Baka naman. Ayaw pa rin, guys. Matigas sa ulo ni.
Talagang bigot on the spot tayo, Maui. Si Maui nag-commit na, actually.
Si Maui nag-commit na. Si Sam Santos yung hater yan ng mga Sando.
Abangan.
Ayaw ng Sando.
Abangan.
3 taon na ako nag-ano kay Sammy na mag-Sando siya. Ayaw niya. Gagalit sa Sando yun si Sammy.
3 taon ka rin kasi pinapa-t-shirt.
3 taon ko na pinapa-t-shirt si Gab. Wala. Hindi Okay lang. To each his own. Alright, thank you Cotton Club Underwear and NYC Underwear. Let's get started. So we're going to talk about the LaSalle 16-man roster. So quick recap on the roster here. We do have, I think, 21 players listed for today's picks. We did not include some prominent names. Some names like Mason Amos to the list. That's because if you've seen the previous episode, we will only cover players that are eligible for season 87 kasi we're finalizing the list for season 87. So only guys that are eligible for then. Maybe some other guys that are not missing, that are not here on the list that maybe are eligible for 87 but we haven't seen them or heard from them in a long time. So hindi din kami sure. So if we're missing someone here sa list, please let us know. Comment down below if you feel like that person deserves a spot in the 16-man roster of the defending champions. Would love to hear your thoughts. Let's get started.
Foresee this is gonna be very easy and quick. Lock maybe or not. Yung siguro magde-debate tayo pagdating kay Zamora versus Romero. Sinong trust fund player ang papasok natin sa LaSalle?
Uy, grabe. Let's get started. We want to talk about LaSalle. By the way, congrats to LaSalle beating 2 PBA teams. Not 1, but 2. And almost beat 3 PBA teams in the ongoing Kadayawan Festival.
Without an FSA.
Without an FSA.
Versus teams with an import,
Oo nga. So, they're that good. They're that legit. Let's get started. We have to start with the star, the MVP, Mr. Kevin Kiambao. Definitely unlock. I'm not even gonna ask these two guys, but siguro dahil dapat mag-pro na siya no? Dapat mag-pro na siya. But siguro my question for you guys for KQ is anong expectation nyo for KQ this season? Kasi parang ginawa naman na niya lahat last season, di ba? He was the MVP. He brought the championship to the team. Anong expectation nyo for him this season? How does he take his game to the next level?
Back-to-back MVPs. Multiple triple-double games. High expectations tayo kay KQ. Di ba? If you
coming
look
from
at his
stints internationally din.
Tsaka if you look at yung Instagram account niya, grabe yung training. Kahit nung bumabagyo nung last week, nasa gym pa rin si KQ, di ba? Imagine. That guy is a workhorse. Ayun, I think yung expansion ng game ni KQ, maybe more shot creation, more assist. I expect multiple triple doubles and him to back-to-back MVP for next season.
Actually, Mau, it's good that you pointed that out. Because, yes, I agree, no? A back-to-back MVP season is definitely in the works for him. I actually expect him to score more because he is shooting more. And I hindi ko lang alam kay KQ, but I think he should integrate the pass more into his game. Para nawala yung playmaking aspect sa kanya recently. And I don't know, if you've watched KQ in Kadayawan, in their multiple pass games, he shoots more than he passes now. Maybe because nag-expand na yung arsenal niya and he's tasked to score. But at times nakita mo, pinipilit niya yung 3, pinipilit niya yung mid-range jump shot. I want to see him pass more, and that's ironic yung coming from KQ. He gets a lot of his assists kasi from fast breaks. Pang naka-turn over yung team, he gets the ball or off a rebound, he gets an outlet pass. That's more of his assists. But on the half court, he shoots more, which sometimes I feel like it's not the best shot. Especially nung finals against UP, again in Phil Oil. I had a feeling na pinipilit niya talaga yung shots. Maybe that's by design, but I do want him to look to be more of a playmaker para to keep the defense off balance. Medyo alam na ng defense at times na titira si KQ, which kind of is to his detriment. Ang dami niyang more talented players around him. I do want him to make more often. May times talaga tira lang siya ng tira, which I don't think is gonna be a good way for him to level up his game. I do think he has to pass more. Ang dami niyang talented teammates around him. Yun lang yung observation ko recently about KQ. But yeah, he's gonna rack up numbers. I think the steals and assists are still padded in the MVP, in the statistical points race in the UAAP. So I think KQ is definitely has an edge over all the other FSAs. UAB, baka naman, ibahin nyo na yan.
So parang no? Lock, not only as a lock si KQ sa team, but he's a lock for the MVP. Are we locking that in?
No. Maybe we'll discuss that further when we get to our predictions.
Yeah. Okay. So wait for that next episode. Maui.
Anything short of being a contender for MVP and being part of the mythical team could be a disappointment for me.
Disappointment na, no? Ganong kataas yung
mataas.
for KQ.
Kahit si Coach Tim Cone, di ba? KQ is the future of Gilas Pilipinas.
That's
sana
from
naman.
Coach Tim. Sana.
Kasi kung sinajapet pa rin nilalaro niya, medyo tanda na si Japet. Sobrang tanda na ni Japet, man. Saka ibang players. Si JB. JB has to hang it up, man. He's pretty old na.
Okay, moving on. Another one of the stars from LaSalle the past few years, Big Mike, Motor Mike Phillips. Definitely a lock. Anything you have to say for Motor Mike? Maui naman.
Yeah, I think ako yung biggest na comment ko kay Motor Mike is ang galing kasi he is able to hang with even the imports, diba? If you watch yung Kadayawan Cup now sa Davao, you've seen him. He's being matched up with some of the imports of the PBA teams, and he doesn't look mismatched, diba? Even some of the pro players kasi that we have are mismatched against these imports. Pero si Motor Mike's just aggressive, just continuing to work his ass off. You can see I guess yung best quality talaga niya, which is why yung nickname niya is yung motor niya. But I would start petitioning SBP. I would start petitioning trying to get Mike Phillips' eligibility for FIBA. Diba? This is a good test for Mike Phillips. He will now slide to the 4 slot di ba? With the arrival of Henry Agonane. And hopefully continues to improve yung shot creation niya and even yung outside shot niya. Kasi because it's something that we saw that Coach
I was gonna
Topex
say that.
was willing to give, di ba, nung season 86. He was shooting 3-pointers despite not having a very good shooting clip on the free throw line. So that's something he has to improve on, free throws and 3-point shots. And that's something I'm excited. I would be surprised if si Mike Phillips will be there come season 88. Kasi diba there have been rumors also that he could go pro after this season, and that was squashed by, I think, an interview by his brother, Ben Phillips. Gab.
I'm just happy to see him play. We didn't see him play in Pinoy, in Phil Oil, especially in the finals against UP. And I'm really happy that he's playing already in the Kadayawan Festival. I loved watching his matchup with Justin Aranya of Converge. Guys, if you
Galing din ni
haven't
Justin
watched
Aranya, to be fair.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Justin Aranya is pretty good. For someone who was buried on the bench, I think, of UST.
Of
he was
UST,
in the UAAP. Baka UST, baka yung talent evaluation nyo, medyo off. Kung ganito kagaling si Justin Aranya na ngayon, di ba? So, yeah, I just love watching that matchup. Despite him sliding down to power forward to start games for LaSalle, I do think his best position is at center. I think LaSalle plays its best when Mike Phillips is at center. He's a different element talaga eh. Pang si KQ at power forward and Mike Phillips at center. The defensive versatility, the switchability, the playmaking on the offensive end, I think it's better for LaSalle. I know Henry Agunan is there now and he's going to be the primary starter at center, but I think when it comes down to big games in the Final Four and the finals, you will see Mike Phillips at center and KQ at power forward.
Yeah, Mike Phillips. Maganda yung sinabi mo din ni Maui, just to add about him hopefully playing for Gilas in the future. Sana that happens, no? Kasi just like si KQ, he could really help Gilas in the future. Sabi nga ni Gab, Japet Aguilar Japet doesn't even want to play for Gilas anymore, pero he doesn't have a choice. Napipilitan lang siya kasi puro injured din yung Gilas team right now. So kudos, shout out to Japet Aguilar.
Mike Phillips would be a great replacement for Japet.
Diba?
Japet will be giving the Bastos jams. Mike Phillips will be giving a lot of Bastos jams.
Perfect for Japet. And then, as Maui mentioned, I was gonna bring it up. If he develops the 3-point shot, that would be like an improved version of Japet. Then si Japet may mid-range game pero wala siya tres masyado. So lock number 2, Mike Phillips. Let's move on. Number 3 on the list, another guy that was crucial, I would say, in the finals last year. One of my underrated picks, VJ David. Injured, by the way, so not playing in Kadayawan still. He missed Phil Oil, he missed Kadayawan Festival. Is he a lock maybe or na?
Lock.
Pa ba to? Gab.
Lock. I think he's a lock. Despite not playing much of the preseason, I think he only played the first game against UP. And then one of the first games in Pinoy Liga. But this guy was playing big minutes in the finals against UP just less than a year ago. So I expect he'll be in the rotation. Despite Lian Ramiro starting, I do think that come season 87, VJ David will slot in as a starter. Despite Lian Ramiro being, I think just the size alone that VJ David provides at point guard is pretty valuable for LaSalle. Plus, he can shoot. I think we've seen he's hit big time 3-point shots before, so I expect he will be there. I will get to a discussion maybe to the other point guards there. Despite LaSalle having a point guard problem, they have a ton of point guards. So I think we'll have a discussion about the other point guard, maybe a third string point guard on this team later on. Maui.
Yeah, I agree with Gab. I think number 1 is yung yung ano niya, yung shooting talaga niya is complementary to KQ. I think he should start as at the point guard slot. That's proven kasi, 'di ba, in the finals. I just hope he gets healthy kasi 'di ba, reports just came in from our friend Davin that it's his knee again, 'di ba? I don't know if it's the knee where he tore his ACL once or twice. I hope he gets healthy kasi we haven't really seen a lot of VJ David this off-season. That's been the case kasi for his UAP career. He's been out a ton of times, diba? Season 84 and 85, I think he was out. He has to get healthy. He has to get that chance. But I think siya yung best complementary point guard with Kevin Cambao. That shooting is a must for LaSalle. I think that's something we've talked about the whole off-season, diba? LaSalle has to have shooting with Cambao. LaSalle has to have slashers with Cambao. And he fits perfectly into that mold. He just has to get healthy.
And one last thing, he has to play this season because this is his last chance for big minutes in the UAAP. Because season 88, he's now back to a bench player. He's not playing over Cortez and Baclaan. There's no way. This is his last chance.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Actually, I'm not sure if he's eligible pa for season 88 kasi diba one of our subscribers commented that VJ David is actually the same age as JD Kagulangan. So I don't know if he has to play if this is really his last year. Actually,
teammates sila,
regardless if this is his last year, diba? If Baclaan and Cortex are coming next season, then it's maybe time to go. That's one of the reasons why Moore decided to transfer schools.
Yep. Okay, so VJ David, a lock. The question only for VJ David is, can he stay healthy for season 87? But definitely a lock for that team. A lock to get minutes this season. So VJ David, get healthy. Let's move on to number 4. Another crucial player for the team, I would say. The guy who brings the angas to the team. CJ Austria. Wala na yung angas bro niya eh. Si bad boy bro Paulie, nag-PBA na. So, CJ Austria has to carry the torch. Lock maybe or na. Well, I think he's a lock. I think you guys would agree he's a lock. Maui, what do you have to say about CJ Austria?
Siguradong lock. I think this is the second coming of Aranya sa LaSalle, diba? They just lost Policarpio. LaSalle always has to have that pesky defender, yung angas, somebody who brings that angas. He is definitely a lock. He has shown actually this off season that he's very, very capable and reliable off the bench. He could have that breakout season this year, diba? Before all of these stars arrive in LaSalle, he was actually a starter. So yeah, I expect CJ Austria to be a pivotal player for LaSalle. We talked about shooting and slashing. This guy has both. So yeah, definitely a lock.
He's a lock, and I will say he's also a lock to be the most annoying and most hated player in the UAAP this upcoming season. If last season there was Joaquin Manuel, and Joaquin Manuel kind of shielded CJ Austria from all the boos and the hate from fans, especially from UP fans. There's no more Joaquin Manuel, and I think a lot of UP fans are going to be pretty annoyed with CJ Austria. In the finals,
you can ask season, Tyler Teo. You can also ask Tyler Teo if CJ Austria is annoying.
I was just about to point that out. He had a fast break layup where he gave the tongue to Sean Manganti and then missed the layup. Buti lang nandun si KQ for the putback slam. Kung hindi, that would have been pretty embarrassing for him. He looked back and stuck his tongue out to Sean Manganti. Na-miss niya yung layup.
Salamat.
Yun, just like that. But yeah, put me down, man. When it comes to big games against UP and even in the finals against UP, I'm calling it the finals against UP. A lot of UP fans, I think, are going to be pretty annoyed with CJ Austria because he's just going to trash talk. He's going to do some antics on the court. And, man, he's going to be so hated by a ton of fans. Sammy, next player.
Just last thing about CJ. He's become known as a pesky defender, one of the top defenders of LaSalle. But I have to say, like, he's also a scorer. Like, he can take over games with his three-point shooting. He can, sabi nga ni Maui, he can drive to the basket. May mga games where he scores, let's say, like 5, 6 straight points off the bench. He sort of reminds me, like in UP, if UP has a Jerry Abadiano, this is the Jerry Abadiano of LaSalle, like that pesky defender that can explode offensively then. So definitely a lock, CJ Austria. Again, very pesky, can be very annoying to the opposing team, but I'm sure all the LaSalle fans would love to have CJ Austria on their back in their team for season 87. Moving on, let's. Okay, one of our favorites. One of our favorites. Another big for LaSalle. Raven Cortez. Lock maybe or na. You know, I love this guy, so I'm putting him as a lock. Coming off the bench. And I think with the departure of a couple of bigs, yung advantage ng Lasal before na marami silang bigs, not that much of an advantage now, especially since we all know their top competition for the finals, for the championship in season 87 is UP. And UP has suddenly recruited a bunch of bigs. QMB, 6'10", Div 1 NCAA school. I think LaSalle definitely needs the services of a guy like Raven Cortez. Anything you want to add, Gab?
He's a lock. Some argued he's a possible breakout player for season 87. I don't see it. With Henry Agonane there, their center rotation just got deeper. So I think his minutes are going to dwindle down. So he was the primary backup to Mike Phillips last season in the second round once he broke out. He already had a breakout second round yung last season. So I think okay na yung breakout. He's not a breakout player for season 88. But yeah, he's gonna get spot minutes at center. I know si Mike Phillips ang starting power forward nila nung preseason, but as I said, si Mike Phillips is better at center, and I think he's gonna slot in as the center next to Henry Agonane or after Henry Agonane. I like the difference that Raven Cortez brings in his game compared to Henry Agonane and Mike Phillips, because he's more of a finesse guy. He doesn't overpower you. Yes, no athleticism, so he doesn't overpower you there, but he knows how to use those floaters, those putbacks, his length to get points in the basket. He's not much of a rim protector also. Again, he's not very athletic, but I love this guy's game. He's eligible for Gilas. Put him in.
Sure. Lock eligible.
Sure
na eligible. Pinoy na Pinoy.
But yeah, I don't see him as a breakout player mainly because si Henry Agonane is there. And not much minutes are gonna increase for Raven Cortez.
Yeah. I agree with Gab. I think Phillips and Agonane will definitely eat up most of that front court minutes. So there's a possibility that he gets less minutes, but as you've seen sa off-season, he maximizes yung time niya on the court. He has a very good chemistry with Kevin Kiambao. I hope he keeps on working on that outside shot, diba? Kasi that's something that we saw early on in the season. He was shooting a ton of threes nung Pinoy Liga. I just love how this guy's developed despite not having key minutes in the UAAP. Just keeps on working. He's finally getting healthy. Yung whole high school career niya kasi was plagued by injuries. So yeah, definitely a lock. They need a ton of bigs if UP is gonna be their number one challenge come season 87. And Raven Cortez should be the part of that list.
Can you imagine? Ang sarap ng buhay ni Coach Topex kasi yung third string center niya ay isang Raven Cortez. Nilalaro lang niya ng limited minutes. Could be the starter for any other UAAP team potentially, diba? Like, again, we go back to Ateneo looking for that big man. So Raven Cortez, not gonna argue with you guys on that. Definitely a lock for me. Moving on, let's talk about some of, marami pa tayong mga existing players. Ilan na tayo, Gab?
We're 5. We have to speed it up a bit, Sam.
Speed it up.
25 minutes
Okay.
in. Come on.
Okay. Earl Abadam.
Lock.
yan.
I think he's a
Okay.
lock.
Outside
Lock na yan.
shooting, defense, slashing.
Defense, yes. Okay, another pair to Earl Abadam, JC Makalalag.
He's a lock. I think he's going to be one of the primary point of attack defenders, and I think you'll see him a lot at point guard. He's been playing a ton of point guard this offseason. I think there are times in the upcoming season he's going to play a ton of point guard for LaSalle. I like him better than Abadam, to be honest. I think Abadam's a better shooter, but a better overall player, I think, is going to be JC Makalalag. Maui.
Yeah, I think lock rin si Makalalag. He's shown enough this off-season, diba? That he fits well also with that KQ lineup where KQ basically plays the point guard and is the main facilitator. I like yung aggression ni Makalalag. I think that's what's lacking with Abadam. Makalalag just wants to sometimes score and drive to the basket to a detriment sometimes, but they need that aggression, diba? They need something that's not predictable, that's not just KQ. So they need their wings to also try to create, not just become knockdown shooters. And I think si Makalalag could be that guy.
Okay, JC Makalalag, definitely a lock. Number 8 pick, EJ Golyena. Shout out to one of our commenters na who picked him as a underrated pick. I think that's a good underrated pick. Potential to also break out. We've seen it sa Kadayawan Festival. I think he hit like 5 threes in one of the games. EJ Golyena used to be just an energy guy, but with what he's showing sa Kadayawan Festival could contribute more to the team. Is he a lock maybe or not?
Lock. And I think the development of his 3-point shot will be key for him to get minutes over the likes of Abadam and Makalalag. We've seen that he's already being tasked to be the primary point of attack defender for Coach Topex. If he can get his offense, most notably his 3-point shot, at a respectable level, I think he'll find himself with a ton of minutes over the likes of Abadam or Austria. So EJ Golyena, lock.
Actually 2 off seasons na that we've seen Golyena show yung improvements niya. This guy is somebody that they've been hyping also, di ba? Kasi he has that energy eh. He could be the disciple also of CJ Austria. This guy.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Diba? And as we've said throughout the offseason, LaSalle needs wing players and 3-point shooters. So if he can hit that outside shot at a decent clip, I wouldn't be surprised if he jumps in the rotation, diba? Kasi we've seen a lot of close games of LaSalle where he actually closed out the game as that point of attack defender, as Gab mentioned. So yeah, definitely a lock.
Yeah, speaking of energy, bench bro to ni Ben Phillips last season, makita mo, they're the 2 noisiest guys in the bench cheering for their teams. And when we talk about EJ Golyena, this guy is ripped, diba? Ang ganda ng katawan niya, laki ng katawan niya. And if you wanna get ripped, let's talk about our second sponsor for this episode, Gab.
I love the segue. Ang ganda ng segue, Sam. Okay yan. So this episode is brought to you by Hype 24/7 Fitness. Feel the hype. So let's go, guys. Get ripped. Get those muscles going for Hype 24/7.
EJ Golyena ripped.
At sana naman kung maging ripped si Sam Santos, magsando na siya.
Magsasando. Sige, pwede. Pag-rip na after ng hype. Pwede.
Hindi ako titigil, Sam. Once mapasando kita sa isang podcast, alam kong panalo na ako sa buhay.
Panalo, yun yung happiness mo. No? We shall see. Oy, iniwan ko yung ibang mga new recruits natin. I think we have to talk about the big man, the big recruit one of the big recruits. May isa pang big recruit mamaya. But the big recruit for LaSalle this season, coming in season 87, Henry Agunane, lock maybe or not. So we have to talk about Agunane and Bright Nuwangco. Obviously, they're the 2 FSAs. Lasal has to pick one. We all know who Lasal is going to pick. Anything you guys
Lock
want
mo
to
na
say
yan.
about Henry Agonene versus Bright
Lock.
Noanco?
Lock mo na.
yan.
Lock mo na.
Lock mo na.
Best FSA for in contention for best FSA
That's true.
for next season.
So matagal na sinasabi ni Maui yan, potentially.
Kaya sinasabi ni
best
Maui.
FSA
But
for
I think
season
Precious
87.
Momoe has kind of
potentially
argument there. I mean,
Mhm,
I think he's a better offensive player than Henry Agonane, but maybe an argument for some other time. But for this, Henry Agonane is a lock. Bright Noanco was supplanted in the rotation last year by Raven Cortez. He was just that bad last season, and he was unplayable for stretches.
Uy, to be fair, he improved defensively, no? Pero Raven
Inconsistent.
Inconsistent, tama.
Improve defensively if you call that being cooked by Malik Diouf, sige. But
lahat naman linuluto ni Malik Diouf, kinakain niya.
Shout out to
our friend. Shout out to our friend Omar John.
Grabe, Lasal na to, Maui. Nag-shout out pa kay Omar John.
Ay, nako. But
Omar.
It's Henry Agonane.
Omar, ikaw pinili ko na FSA na sa NU.
To be fair. Watch that episode, by the way. Watch that NU episode, by the way. Okay, Gab.
Ay, nako. But Henry Agonane, I do wish that against UP, he'd stop attacking from the perimeter as much. He gets turnovers a ton when he attacks from the perimeter. Just wait for lobs, bro. Wait for lobs inside baskets. That's where you're good at. Leave the penetrating to your other wings and KQ. Stop with the ball handling from the perimeter. I think that's when napapakamot ng ulo si Coach Topex sa'yo pag ginagawa mo yun. We saw this with Precious Momoe last year. Diba? Whenever he would attack, try to do some KD shit on the perimeter, it leads to turnovers for UE. So leave that to the guards, Henry. Leave that to the guards. And to KQ. I mean, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop with the KD shit.
KQ pa lang.
You're not KD yet.
Not yet. Okay, sige. So, Agonane, definitely the FSA for season 87. Let's move on to the other big recruit. Haven't seen much from him. Alex Konov. Finally deciding to join LaSalle. Maui. Luck maybe or na.
Sure luck. I think he can play a lot with KQ too. He had a very good debut nung Kadayawan, but unfortunately suffered an ankle injury. I think yung outside shooting niya really separates himself. I'm actually more nervous for Mason Amos because it looks like very similar ang games nila, but Konov looks like he's very mobile based on that short stint sa Kadayawan. There's a reason why we decided to not pick Konov going to Ateneo when Amos was there, diba? But I'm excited for Konov. I think a lot of UAP fans, especially LaSalle fans, are excited for Alex Konov. This is a guy that could be part of the Gilas team in the future and is actually in the plans diba, of Gilas. So hopefully continues to develop, continue to work with KQ. I want him to transition to the 3 slot. Hopefully that's something achievable within the next few years. I think he's in the right position to be able to do that. But I'm excited. Sayang kasi we only saw him for only a brief moment, but he dominated during that time. Diba? I think he hit 4 out of 4 sa 3 points during that time or something like that, if I remember correctly. But we'll see more probably him in the UAP season. I think he's ruled out already for the Kadayawan Cup. Let's see.
I want to see him play more. Especially, I want to see him play defensively more. Again, it's just one game. I've seen him play one game. I don't want to judge the guy. Again, his shooting is definitely an asset for LaSalle. Can definitely slide him next to KQ. For this season, I foresee him, if he's ever going to get minutes, I foresee him having the Francis Escandor role. The guy park at the corner, wait for the pass from KQ or Mike Phillips. just to launch those threes. That was valuable for LaSalle last season. We saw it in the finals. Francis Escondor hit big threes for LaSalle and even si BJ David. So the same role can be had by Alex Konov. I think it's great that he's 6'7" next to KQ. So, but yeah, the defense is what I really want to see, because he's 6'7". Can he match up against bigs? Can he match up against wings, guards? That's what I'm really gonna watch for in future games for Alex Konov, especially when the UAAP season starts. One game, I don't want to judge him based on one game. Yeah, lock him in, especially na nawala si Paulie.
But he's a lock.
Minutes opened up for Alex Konov. Magpasalamat ka kay Paulie, Alex. And yeah, and as Maui said, we'll get to season 88 maybe months from now, but it looks like there's gonna be quite a log jam for LaSalle to work out in the front court, given that there's an Amos, a Konov, a Luis Pablo, and
tatlong Gilas players, di ba? Batang Gilas players.
Gilas players. Oh,
and as early as now, I'm calling it. I think the big loser is definitely Luis Pablo. He does not have the shooting touch of those two guys, Amos and si Konov. So if KQ is staying, better fit talaga si Mason and si Alex Konov next to KQ and to Mike Phillips. Luis Pablo, man, if we're gonna award the Bolero of the offseason, maybe we're gonna have to give it to Luis Pablo.
Lumipat ng UP para pumunta sa LaSalle na logjam pa rin sa position niya. My God.
Yeah. Actually, better off nagstay na lang siya sa UP. Anyway, that's a different topic. Moving on. Preseason star, Pinoy Liga star, Voris Marasigan. Lock, maybe, or na, Gab?
He's a lock. I do think he gives a very different element compared to the other wings that they have. If you've watched si Abadam, si Makalalag, si Austria, si Guliena, both just drive to the basket, penetrate, and shoot. Si Voris Marasigan, he posts up. That's the only play that's run for Voris Marasigan throughout the preseason.
They give him wing.
They post him up against guards because he's so huge. So I think he's a lock. I'm not sure how many minutes he's gonna get. Again, LaSalle has just so many players. You talk about a team that's classic LaSalle that's over recruiting again. They have a ton of guys that play the same position. Again, I just counted 4 other guys who play the same position as Voris Marasigan. So I'm not sure how many minutes he's gonna get for LaSalle this season, but I do love the versatility. A guard and a wing who posts up other guards. That's a luxury, I think. That's a different wrinkle that Coach Topex can bring in it. So and he's been getting minutes in preseason, so definitely a lock for me, Voris Marasigan.
Yeah, I agree with Gab. I think yung LaSalle is really just loading up with players who can shoot the three and can slash, diba? That's what they're working on. Kasi that's something that KQ will have opportunities to really look for those slashers and those 3-point shooters. I think yung breakout ni Voris Marasigan no next Man Cup ng Pinoy Liga solidified yung chances na for the season, diba? If he didn't have that breakout, we'd probably be seeing him as one of the players transferring to another school, diba? Kasi this is another highly touted high school player. But he will have to fight for minutes, as Gab mentioned. Kasi there's a lot of players who are in the same mold in the LaSalle lineup. So far, I don't think anybody has shown or really had that huge advantage in terms of getting playing time versus the others. Sam?
I think his breakout kind of opened the door for Aaron Buensalida, who was another LaSalle guy in the same mold as Voris Marasigan, to leave. Kasi
pati si Kasbay.
Si Jake Kasbay. Good point, Maui. I think the two of them saw na, in-outplay tayo ni Voris Marasigan. We're not gonna make the lineup this season. better just to take the year off and go to the NCAA go to the NCAA because there are more minutes available there. Yeah, Sammy, our next player.
Next player, one of their top rookie recruits, also one of Maui's favorites, Andre Dungo. Doy Dungo. Lock maybe or
Lock
not.
this guy in!
Showed up in
yan.
Phil Oil. Maui, ano masasabi mo sa one of your favorites na rookies ng Lasal?
Well, I think yung versatility ni Doy Dungo, that's something that we were surprised at this preseason, diba? We've been watching this guy kasi since we started covering yung UAAP juniors, diba? During that time, all we knew was he was a slasher and we didn't see yung 3-point shooting, we didn't see yung playmaking, kulang pa. This guy has had the opportunity to even play point guard, diba? In some of the games of LaSalle. I think that's by design to develop really yung playmaking and ball handling niya. I love yung future ni Doy Dungo. I love yung ceiling. I think it fits in very well with Phillips and Kiambao. I think that's very important to get decent minutes. I would say, si Gab kanina mentioned Makalalag over Abadam. I would say Doy Dungo over all of these wing guards so far, diba? That's the biggest surprise.
Agree.
That's a good point.
Agree ako, Maui. Agree. I love Dungo. If ever KQ leaves this season or next season, count me in as Doy Dungo being the next breakout star for LaSalle. I mean,
Whoa.
There, bro. The tools are there. The tools, the athleticism, the speed, the length.
He's got good
there.
size. Yeah, the length is there. Yeah.
It's all there. We've seen the flashes of playmaking. We've seen his shooting.
Yung versatility talaga.
Yeah, the defensive versatility. Exactly, Maui. I love this guy. Good get by LaSalle.
Surprising.
To
me, surprising na pinalis ng UST given that Pido Arencho has been in the helm, diba, the past seasons. This is that Pido wing that UST has been craving.
Magpasalamat sila sa tatay ni Doy Dungo, diba? Yung dad niya yata yung Lasalista, I think.
Yung Lasalista.
So, kaya napunta siya sa Lasal. So, magpasalamat ang Lasal kay Tatay Dungo. Napunta siya sa DNSU. Wow, this guy is really good. This guy is really good.
Definitely a lock, Doy Dungo. So, I remember we talked about this already nung Phil Oil. He came out of nowhere kasi first game niya was that first game against UP and napaisip ka din no? Parang but biglang, I think, starter. He played crucial minutes during that first game in Phil Oil. Out of nowhere. We didn't see him in Pinoy Liga Cup prior to that. But you can see why. Now that we've seen him play for a couple of games for LaSalle, you can see why Coach Topex had to play this guy. Kahit na first game niya was against UP, one of their rival contenders for the championships. It's a worthy investment. Yun na lang sabihin natin. I think Coach Topex is investing in LaSalle's future and he's putting some of his chips in this guy. Doy Dungo, watch out for that guy. Remember his name, LaSalle fans. Moving on, I want to talk about, Gab, can you recap pala? Ilan na tayo?
I think we have 12. Yeah, we have
12 players. Okay, 12.
Last 4.
Okay, down to
Mike
our last 4.
EJ Davids, CJ Austria, Raven Cortez, Earl Abadam, JC Makalalag, EJ Goliena, Henry Agunani, Alex Boris Musigan, and Doy Dungo as our locks. Si Bright Nuangco pa lang yung tinatanggal natin, hot lock.
Yung na. Okay. Sige, I want to talk about that point guard problem. We talked about VJ David. Sabi natin, let's talk about the other point guards. So I'm gonna put, I would say, the 3 other top point guards that LaSalle is considering for UAAP Season 87 together. That's Ethan Alian, Lian Ramiro, and Matthew Rubico. May na-miss ba akong top point guard that we wanna consider? But I feel like itong tatlo talaga. Sige, let's put in Justin Buenaventura para, kasi we're down to 4 Sige, tama. So, Alian, Ramiro, Rubico, and Buenaventura as the 4 other point guards on this list. Top point guards on this list. Are you putting all all 4 in the final 16-man roster?
Well, kung
Hindi.
isasama mo na yan sa amin, baka gusto mo isama yung trust fund player, si Santi Romero and si Zamora. I mean, they're also guards.
They're guards. I think, yeah. I think there are also guards. So are you gonna... There's obviously not enough room for all those guys. So those are 6 guys. So, sino ang lock, maybe, or nanyo dun sa 6 na yon? Again, Alian, Ramiro, Rubico, Buenaventura, Romero, Zamora. Let's start with the NAS. I think may NAS na kayo.
Alam mo,
Do you even have to say?
sorry. Kasi, pare, let's call it as it is. Si Zamora and si Romero are probably some of the backers of this team. Their parents are some of the backers of this team. So, I think you gotta put one in. One of them. Diba? I mean, si Francis Zamora, si Mayor Zamora ang nag-convince kay Mason Amos.
Mason Amos, yeah. Yeah.
Tapos hindi mo lalagay anak niya?
Just because of that, he'll probably be the one who will get 8 between the two of them.
Wow! Si Santi Romero, nagilas pare.
Yun sasabihin ko. I would put Romero kasi at least nag-youth team siya noon. I haven't seen Zamora. I haven't seen Zamora play, so I wouldn't know. But if I had to choose between the two,
1
Romero.
minute against Ateneo.
So, in a 30-point blowout.
Oh yeah, that's all I've seen. Santi Romero, I haven't seen anything for notable for this guy. But yeah, okay, let's get serious. Let's talk about the trust fund players later. But out of all the guards, I like si Matthew Rubico and Lian Ramiro as possible locks. I think si Lian Ramiro, obviously, they recruited him right after.
One and done.
One and done. They recruited him right after. A lot of LaSalle fans were saying we shit the bed against UP in the first game in Phil Oil. Then I think a week later, they had news na we're recruiting si Lian Ramiro. So obviously, the LaSalle management also, what we saw, na they had a point guard problem. VJ David had 7 turnovers. So I would put Lian Ramiro and Matthew Rubico as possibly the backup or the third string point guard behind VJ David. I know si Ramiro is the starter now, but I do foresee si VJ David to be the actual starter once season 87 starts, or if not the pseudo starter, the guy who comes off the bench but plays starters minutes. But I do like si Matthew Rubico. A lot of our commenters have always hyped this guy up. And
yeah, shout out to all the commenters, by the way. Matagal na hina-hype na nila yung player na to.
Papakita na.
I like him better than both VJ David and si Lian Ramiro. I do think he differs. I do think he differs a lot of the time to his senior teammates, his more talented teammates. That's why he doesn't get a ton of numbers. But I do think he can. This guy was a bucket in high school. Averaged 22 points a game. Had multiple 40-point games in the NCAA Juniors Division. I don't know why LaSalle did not invest more time and playing time and more opportunity in this guy, and why they recruited Lian Ramiro. But I think this guy is a whole lot better. He's big, he's quick, has a handle. Again, I think he can score if only he became more aggressive. I love his defensive versatility. Again, he's bigger, so he can switch between smaller guards and bigger guards. So put me in for locks for both Lian Ramiro and Matthew Rubico. What do you guys think?
Yeah, ako I would say I would lock both of those people. Si Rubico has really shown yung potential niya this off-season. I like yung ceiling ni Rubico. It seems like he has a bigger ceiling, a higher ceiling than the other point guards. Maybe that's because he also showed out nung high school, di ba? Kaiba. And si Leon Ramiro naman is more of that safe pick. Maybe if VJ David continues to be injured, maybe they can go to him. I don't see any of those three playing heavy minutes kasi I see Lasal also playing KQ at the point and with other wings, diba? So but in terms of like having that complementary piece, I think si BJ David is still the best option next to Kevin Kiambao just because of his something consistent that he brings is shooting. Tsaka yung reliability niya from previous seasons. But yeah, both of these guys should be locks. The more point guards they have, the easier they can replace an Evanele.
Okay.
So we have two locks.
We have 2 slots left and a few more players left. So what about Ethan Alian, Buenaventura, Romero, Zamora?
You know, si Ethan Alian kasi
actually, isama mo na rin yung iba kasi ang natitira na lang I think si Ogana and si Phillips. So those are the remaining players and we have 2 slots.
Isaiah Phillips, just to be clear.
Isaiah Phillips. Sorry. Go ahead, Gab.
Okay, for the last 2 spots, I'm gonna make an argument for Russell Ogana. I know he was a guy who surprised us, Sammy, diba?
Pinoy Liga.
Early part, yeah. When we watched Pinoy Liga together, he can shoot. I do think he can. He's shown the ability to. He's a wing. I don't think he's gonna get minutes because just look at their lineup. They have other wings. They have other guards in Abadam, Makalalag, Austria, Goliena, Marasigan. So I don't think he's gonna get minutes. But I do think for the future, this guy can be a key rotation piece. I do like the size at the wing position, his shooting, his ability to get to the basket. This guy came out of nowhere, was apparently recruited by Coach Topex Robinson. Personally recruited by Coach Topex Robinson. So out of all of those players, I would lock in Russell Ogana. It's a maybe for me for Ethan Alian, just because there are 3 other point guards in this lineup. Ethan Alian cannot shoot. That's I think the biggest knock on him. He's a terrific defender. I think that's been his calling card since his high school days with LaSalle Green Hills. He's a terrific on-ball defender, but he just cannot shoot. That's the problem with Ethan Alian. And Ramiro can shoot the ball. David can shoot the ball. Rubico can shoot the ball. Well, so the ability, si Alian cannot. So I'm going with Russell Ogana. Kaya dalawa. I don't know.
Ako honestly, these last 2 picks are wild card picks, diba? It's very sad to see si Alian and Buenaventura who are 2 point guards not sure to make the lineup for season 87. And come next season, Cortez and Baclaan will be coming, diba? So these 2 guys are probably potential players who will transfer to other schools. When you talk about the last 2 slots, I would go with Zamora and Romero, diba? It's crazy to think that would happen, diba? Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy to think that would happen. But in a basketball game, you don't normally play naman 16 players, diba? There's a reason why these 2 players are in contention to be in the lineup. Whether it be the contributions of their fathers, especially that Mason Amos transfer, or whether these 2 players have additional contributions to the recruitment process of LaSalle, I would put them in, diba? Just because of that. I would pick them because there are no other players, I think, that would make a big difference from the list that remains right now. Ogana could be part of the future, but maybe it would best suit him to play in Team B and develop. Similar to how Boris Marasigan sat out last season. So yeah, call me crazy, but I'm going with Zamora and Romero.
I just had it as a joke, Maui. You actually took it seriously. You're putting in the 2 trust fund players. Sammy.
Grabe naman. Hindi naman trust fund players. Pero, yeah, go, Gab.
Bro. Let's call it as it is, Sammy. I mean, they're not there for their basketball skills, if we're being honest. Diba? Ako, just another note lang on Ethan Alian. If he was smart, he would go the more Alaw route and just take this year off because he's obviously not gonna get big minutes. I don't think he's even a lock to make the lineup. I just called him a maybe. More Alaw did the smart thing. He went to UE. He's gonna get playing time next season. And Ethan Alian, if you were smart, you see Jacob Cortez and Baclaan waiting there for season 88. Bro, just transfer elsewhere. There's transfer to the NCAA. Go back to Benil or something. I don't know. Hindi naman go back to Benil. Kaya pala siyang LSGH. But go to Benil or something. Come on. Bet on yourself. Do something with your career. You're not making it in LaSalle. There is no way. Ethan Alian, come on. Dito tayo, pare. Sam, ikaw ang tiebreaker dito. Sino ang...
Teka, so sino lock mo? Si Ogana and...
Ogana and...
Zamora.
Sige. Si Zamora, dahil siya yung nag-recruit, dahil yung tatay niya yung nag-recruit kay Mason Amos. So, put me in for a Zamora. I don't know. He's not gonna... Yung tama naman si Maui, these 15 and 16 guys on the roster, they're not gonna play
legacy
anyway.
spot na lang, di ba? Legacy spot for Mayor Francis.
Yeah, I mean, Zamora was a player for LaSalle also, di ba? Not just helping LaSalle now, but parang Jacob Cortez yan eh. May history din yan. Played for LaSalle. Has really contributed a lot to LaSalle in terms of bringing back yung pride in LaSalle. I think he was one of the guys who pushed for that, yung LaSalle ring celebration last year for like the previous LaSalle champ. So, really, on and off the court, maraming contributions si Zamora. So, shout out to Mayor Zamora, by the way. Sige. So, Zamora yung pick mo, no? So, two kay Zamora na. So, okay. Sige, I'll be... Okay, I actually wanted to pick Isaiah Phillips. So he was one of my picks just because just strategic din. Number one, he's compared to all the other guys, Isaiah Phillips has one advantage. He has the size compared to all the other guys. So I'm picking the size, a fourth string big man, fourth, fifth string big man doesn't hurt.
Worst case scenario.
Just in case may mga, yes, exactly. Kung may worst case scenario, at least may malaki akong may mapapasok sa lineup. I always like that versatility of my like last three guys in the bench. So I'm picking Isaiah Phillips as my other lock. Obviously, he's not gonna make it. You guys didn't pick him. My second lock, if I had to pick, it would be either Romero or Ogana for me. Just because, as I mentioned, hindi ko pa din nakita si Zamora. I saw si Romero nung high school din siya sa LaSalle. But I have to go with Russell Ogana just because I picked him in my surprise picks, nung surprise performances nung Pinoy Liga. I think he does have the potential, but I understand if doesn't make it to this team, sabi nga ni Maui, parang marasigan role. So, given that, I think our last two locks are going to be Zamora and Ogana. Kasi 2 kay Zamora, 2 kay Ogana. So, that's our 16-man roster. Ethan Alian, Justin Buenaventura, Santi Romero, Isaiah Phillips did not make... Bryant Nawalco did not make the cut.
Just a quick thing on GG Justin Buenaventura. We didn't discuss him much.
Go ahead. Yeah.
We've barely seen him play. And maybe he could make it. Just that. But he's gonna be a fourth string point guard.
Medyo highly touted recruit din siya, diba? 6-foot point guard.
Yeah, so maybe he could make it as a fourth string point guard, but I find it difficult to give him the 15th or 16th slot in a lineup, and we haven't seen him play. So there. And to recap, our picks for lock maybe or nah for the De La Salle Green Archers are KQ, Mike Phillips, VJ David, CJ Austria, Raven Cortez, Earl Abadam, JC Macalalag, EJ Goliena, Henry Agonane, Alex Konov, Boris Marisingan, Doy Dungo, Matthew Ribico, Lian Ramiro, Ronald Zamora, and Russell Ogana. And those are our 16 players who will make the lineup for the DLSU Green Archers.
Okay.
Ethan
That's
Alian,
it for...
pag-isipan mo na ang future mo, pare.
Nag-aantay pa si Baclahan at si Cortez next season. That's it for our episode today. Comment down below who's your lock maybe or na. Who's your 16-man roster for DLSU in season 87? If we missed anyone, let us know your thoughts. Stay tuned for the next episode. We'll be talking about the other teams. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.